Politics is like poker. When you have no cards, you bluff and hope your opponent folds. Kamala doesn't have a good hand, but she's too afraid to bluff herself. So the media's doing it for her. They tell you what Kamala's positions are so she doesn't have to, and they change them so she doesn't have to. At the convention, they went all in on football, camo, and country music. Kamala? She's from Berkeley, grew up in Canada, and wants to take your guns.
I describe myself as a proud American.
She's bluffing. Harris tells us there will be no tax on tips.
As president, I will be laser focused on creating opportunities for the middle class that advance their economic security, stability, and dignity.
Harris says if she's elected, she will cut taxes for most Americans, ban grocery price gouging through price controls, and build more affordable housing.
Just plagiarizing Trump's policy. She and Biden can cut the tax on tips now. So why don't they? When I woke up this morning, I opened the paper and see Kamala wants to build a border wall.
Well, I refuse to play politics with our security, and here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law.
If she's elected president, she pledges to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the wall along the southern border. This is the same project she once opposed and called Un-American during the Trump administration.
President's medieval vanity project called a wall.
Axios tells us that Kamala's pledging to build more of the border wall, but have you heard Kamala pledge that? I haven't. This is what killed John Kerry. He was for the war before he was against it. Kamala? She was for the wall before she was against it.
We know we need a change, and that's why we have elections in this country. We need a change. We cannot continue to have an administration and a president of the United States who puts his vanity projects ahead of the needs of the people of our country.
Someone should ask Nancy Pelosi if a wall is still racist if a black woman builds it. Good thing Tim Walz invested in that ladder factory now that more walls are going up.
He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder factory. That's not how you stop this.
Does Walz even know what his running mate is running on? Democrats think there's danger in sending him out to do solo interviews because he might not have a full command of where Harris is on every issue. Well, that's because Harris doesn't have a full command of where she is on every issue. The Border Czar's administration stopped building Trump's border wall and sold the steel for scrap. Now she wants to buy new steel at full price and keep building? Biden-Harris sued Texas for putting up a fence, but now she likes the fence. Did Kamala tell Biden to keep building the wall and Biden didn't listen? Or is she just going ultra-MAGA to win an election? I read a story this morning that her advisors are considering just copying all of Donald Trump's policies. They're more popular. In fact, for her debate, she's even putting on a Navy suit and adopting the slogan, "Make America Great Again." After plagiarizing Build the Wall and no tax on tips, is Kamala going to start saying drill, baby, drill? Maybe she is, because her campaign is now saying she doesn't support an EV mandate anymore. But Kamala Harris co-sponsored a bill mandating that all cars go electric by 2040. If Trump is so unpopular, why is Harris stealing his policies? At this point, Kamala Harris should just debate herself. Democrats haven't decided what Kamala Harris believes in. Is she Joe Biden's VP or just a former prosecutor? Is she the border's czar or not? Kamala's so busy thinking about herself, she has no time to think about you. Politico says the Harris campaign was asking reporters who they think she should talk to. TV producers are even pitching their talent to be the perfect person to interview her. Isn't this exciting? It took Kamala 39 days just to give an interview to CNN. Kamala took a whole week off just to prepare for a CNN interview. Compare that to Trump. He doesn't need to pretend to go to dinner to be ready for dinner. He knows who he is.
Out there using my very beautiful face.
You know who he is. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, doesn't know who she is until her campaign tells her. When world leaders sit across the poker table from Kamala Harris, they smell fear. They know her tells. Are you going to gamble our country on a woman who's too insecure to tell us who she is? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below.